Good morning, guys. How are we all doing? So Dan from Trading with Dan. This is our Bitcoin morning update. So if you guys wouldn't mind smashing that like button, and we will go over to those charts. So yeah, Bitcoin on the not the 8 hour. Sorry, Bitcoin on the 4 hour. As you can see, we are coming up upon a 4 hour 9. We are actually holding above this recent high that we had, basically yesterday's high. Was it yesterday? No, sorry, not yesterday's high. But the recent high, the recent swing high. So obviously we're looking good here, holding this level. Potentially a bull flag for one last push up to around up to over 17k. That's kind of what I'm potentially expecting, but obviously we are on the 4 hour 9. We can trade some sideways to down. I mean, and we could also we could just fail to hit it this time, come back down and test test the midpoint again around 15.8. And then try and bounce off it again. I mean, that is possible. If that does happen, I mean, I would potentially expect us to break down into this lower range. However, a lot of it will actually depend on the US dollar, on the DXY basically, and whether that is coming down or not. Because if it does keep coming down like it is doing, then yeah, I think we are gonna basically get up to around over 17k, and we're gonna struggle to come back down to 15.8 anytime soon, anytime until obviously we get some sort of more serious bounce in the DXY. Or we actually tap the 17k first, and then selling comes in and then drives us down to around this level, and then maybe even breaks that level. But I do think we need a catalyst to break this upward trend, and for me that catalyst would be either hitting a major target, which is up here, or a pretty strong turnaround in the DXY. So which one of those do I think will come first? Probably hitting this level up here, which is why that is what I think is the most likely scenario for Bitcoin. I did also notice actually on the 8 hour, this is why I was on it, just the couple of TD9s we had, the 9 that marked the top of this run here, the 9 that marked the top of this run here, and then the 9 that marked the top of this one here. So yeah, was an interesting little observation. So yeah, let's have a look at that BTC. Actually, BTC dominance first. BTC dominance, you can see we have tested this line and get this trend line again, rejected from it. We have got a new level now to potentially take out to see a downside trigger, and that is here. So take out this level, take out this low here, then we could potentially look good for a move to here and taking out that level, and then actually finally starting a potential downtrend. This is looking more like it now. If we take out this level and then come down to this level, this would be looking more like an actual reversal in this chart to me, and to others, and that would be a potential trigger then for an actual for the actual altcoin and altcoin season to start. Whether it will be a prolonged one or a mini one, or how low it will come, I can't tell you. That. All I can say is it will look like we are struggling to get higher in this move, and downside would be the name of the game. But yeah, like I said, when we came down here, we hadn't even lost this trend line. We did need to consolidate, move, test some highs, test some not necessarily new highs, but test some upside, see if we get rejected, see what the sentiment is when we get up to those levels again. And yeah, like I said, if we can pull back from here, like we are starting to at the moment, get below here, that would mean I would guess we would then potentially get below here as well. Although we could, you guys know I like my boxes, we could trade just in a sort of rectangle box range, hit up here, but I don't actually think that would be what happens. I think we would see a drop out of here, then a drop out of here, and then full on altcoin season. And obviously the trend is your friend. Once we can confirm a downtrend and confirm we're not in this uptrend anymore, money will start coming into altcoins, and this will start to move. So that could coincide with us tapping out around the 17k and trading sideways. And yeah, definitely coincide with that, because people will be looking at Bitcoin and thinking, there's opportunities in alts now. Now Bitcoin's at this high level, I'll start to move some in, and yeah, it could reverse the trend, and then we could get momentum. So that is what I'm looking at in BTCD. Obviously, if we break above here, breaking above this level here is clearly going to be the trigger for not nice things for the alts, put it that way. So we'll put that level in as well. So the DXY, which is what we were meant to come over and talk about, well, talk about first anyway. You can see we have lost this level at the moment. We are gunning for this level down here, which I think would break if we get there. I mean, that's the projected target of the dropout of this wedge. So this has always been the target, this level here. But that level, obviously, I think we'll lose that and we'll come down to this one. And then potentially play out this range in our nice downward stair-stepping fashion. Trade in this range, and then, well, we'll either lose this range or we'll break back above and start to try and make some movements to the upside. We'll have to see what happens, because in the larger context we can get down to here and then we easily come back up to around even if it's just to here, but maybe even this level, maybe even higher, but not ideally not take out this high, and then turn back down again. That could happen, or we could just collapse straight through, or we could just consolidate at the low or in this range and then come lower. But you guys know my views on the DXY and my reasons for it. I think this is coming down, and yeah, like I said, if we get down to here, we're gonna have 20k plus Bitcoin. How is silver doing this morning, based on our dollar weakness? You can see silver and gold are tightening up, not necessarily doing anything spectacular, but low vol leads to high vol, so I'm expecting a breakout, and if the dollar keeps moving down, this breakout is going to be to the upside. And if we get a breakdown in the DXY from the levels we were just talking about, into the high 91s, I think we would get recent. I think we would basically be up in the 28s pretty quickly for silver, if that was to happen, and gold as well. Gold, as you can see, again, tightening range, not necessarily doing a lot, but yeah, like I said, if we get the breakdown, I think we'll come to the top of here and we'll have a chance of breaking through. But gold isn't looking as bullish to me as silver is. So I mean, I do expect this gold silver ratio to come down if we indeed do have more dollar weakness and those two precious metals break to the upside. So yeah, back to Bitcoin. How are we looking on these higher time frames? It is, for me, all eyes are on this the weekly 9 more so as opposed to the 5-day 9, but we are on the 5-day 9. They are going to coincide around the same-ish amount of time, on obviously 5-day and weekly time frames, and I think we are I mean, I think we'll get up to here, maybe even wick above it, maybe get into some crazy 18k numbers, but I think that will be a local high from this fully extended move to the upside, and then it's a case of how low do we go? I mean, I can't see us not trading below the 15.8 at that point. And I think my ideal catch point, well, I say ideal, obviously ideal would be higher. I mean, I don't want Bitcoin to come lower. I mean, but that's just pointless, irrelevant. But my ideal catch point for pure chart aesthetics, and how I would expect it to look, would be basically the 14k. So holding 14k, holding this level here would be great. Failing that, this area around 12k, which actually a lot of people I know are aiming for to the downside, would look great too. But yeah, I mean, targets that lots of people look for, that one of two things happens. They either get overran, as in basically people buy at a level and then bigger people squeeze them and shoot through, or it gets front run and we don't make it that far. So I think front run would be the more likely scenario. So that would imply to me, well, basically between 13 and 14k, but ideally this 14k to hold. But yeah, that is what I am looking at here. And again, I reiterate the fact it is playing into my narrative of basically 14 to 18k. We'll call it 14 to 18k range. I think Bitcoin will stay in for the foreseeable. For into next year, for into early next year, I think. So that is my view on that. We'll have a whiz through those stochastics, yeah, you can see 4 hour getting potentially toppy here, but obviously 4 hour is quite a lower time frame, whereas 10 hour and 12 hour both pointing up. So I think these guys are telling us that we are gonna test 17k plus. Daily looking good as well to get us up there. 2-day looking, I mean these are looking good. These are looking good, basically, for an acceleration into these weekly, this weekly and 5-day 9. So yeah, that's what I'm looking at, basically. That's what I'm expecting. Yeah, maybe a bit of well, I'd say downside. I mean, we have already consolidated here. It is looking like a potential bull flag, but yeah, we'll see what happens, guys. Interesting times. We are getting to the point where people that have been long Bitcoin since its inception, or since down here, or since wherever, or wherever, or however, wherever they've been, they are going to be looking at taking some money off here. I'm telling you now, guys. And then when they do, it's kind of as soon as someone jumps in, more people will jump in, and more people will jump in, and then we will get a cascade down. We will have one of those elevator shafts up the staircase, down the elevator shaft, and it's a case of well, what floor we get out of the elevator shaft. Yeah, I mean, all being well, ideally, it would be we'll get supported at 15.8, but if not, larger time frame, larger scale, this range is good for me. This range looks realistic. This range would look sensible for price action. So that's what I'm looking for, basically. So that is it, guys. Remember, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Always do your own research, and I'll speak to you guys later on today.